All right, chickens. Tonight we're going to talk about and review that cult classic that no one knows about called Inseminoid, 1981, directed by Norman Warren. This is his only movie that was ever nominated for Best Fantasy Film. It didn't win. Looking at some of the reviews, I gotta say I do agree. It seems to be a bit of a take on Alien, if I'm being honest. Um, I watched it about 4 times. It's very hard to take your eyes away from what's happening on the screen because it's some of it is quite unbelievable. So anyway, what is the story about? Well, it's a bunch of intergalactic archaeologists. They're on a foreign planet in a hostile temperature of 84 degrees below zero. And why are they there? Why? Well, they're there to mine for crystals. What do the crystals do? We don't know. We don't know. Is it weapons? No. Is it food? No. Is it health? No. No idea. But anyway, the intergalactic archaeologists they find a place, a tomb, if you will, and that's where the movie opens at. Now, in the next scene, you're going to be able to understand that this is not just, a cry for help, but this is the idea that they came up with for if you were an intergalactic archaeologist, you would want two head beams coming right out of your head. So, let's take a look at that. So they're back. They're in the cave, and they've broken through, and they've come across something, and they're staring at it like that whole thing about did I leave the oven on, and then it explodes. Now Dean was the one that was actually staring, questioning whether he left the oven on. But Ricky is the one that they actually bring back to operations. And this is the first sequence. It's probably like this. Well, I mean, the whole thing going into an unknown tomb. And, but this is the first real, I think, strong reference to Alien. Take a look.
Hear me, Ricky.
I'll take him.
Hear me.
Come on.
Get in, Sandy. Get his legs up.
Okay, get him up. Come on.
Come on, Sandy. Let's go.
Easy. Okay, Sharon, come on, move it.
He's just sort of dead, like dead-ish. So Ricky has this. He's at first he's fine, but then they show this scene where he's in bed and he's sweating profusely, and he's starting to develop some sort of thing on his face, and it decides that he needs to go look for Dean, and that's where he tries to escape the underground, thing that they're in. I guess that would be like home office.
Are you okay? No, let's go.
So Ricky escapes operations, runs out. There's a lot of that flail running. And pushes Gail, and her foot gets caught, and she can't get it back. She can't get back into operations. And he knocks her thermostat off or something, and Gary's like, connect the blue yellow wires. And she's like, I can't. And he's like, well, you got to. I'm not putting on that metallic suit and coming out there. But anyway, she decides that she's going to jump off her leg and make a run for it. But that didn't work out too well because she freezes to death. Catherine comes along, shoots Ricky, and they let her inside. She has an emotional moment there. And then the next thing we know, Mitch and Sandy, who is the protagonist, she moves the story along. Well, they have a real bad day. Both of them, actually. And the next scene is going to be, well, it's going to be one of those that you can't take your eyes away from it. Can't take your eyes away from it. And it is hard to explain. I mean, I've had a lot of strange first dates, including one I fell asleep on. But that doesn't explain this, and neither can I. Well, I told you so. Now, Sandy has a. Well, she's a new mom. Let's just put it that way. And she has confliction of whether she should continue to kill all of her coworkers and cannibalize their remains. Um, you know, she's new to motherhood. Let's just put it that way. She has increased strength and agility, and plus, there are times when her shirt is completely filthy, but in the next scene, it is whiter than snow. So I feel that there is an internal conflict going on, and can only be resolved on. So there's multiple deaths. I don't think we have to show. I mean, we showed Mitch. Was he there? No, yeah. Well, he was integral because he's the one. He's the first one that saw the baby daddy. Right, he saw the baby daddy, and so that's really all that counts. Everybody else is just food or in my way or trying to take my youngins from me. Oh, there they. She's having an intergalactic species baby. Don't stop her. When people get together, they have bad ideas. I'm saying. Well, anyway, the crew members, after all of her running around and causing trouble and eating on some dead folks, they decide that they want to get rid of her. But she's 2 steps ahead.
Her, and that is to kill her.
What do you suggest? What do you suggest? Do you know anything about that, Kate?
Explosives.
So she kills Holly, who's the captain. She kills Carl, who is kind of like the science doctor officer. She kills Barbara in the sauna room, and she kills, let's see, who else does she kill? Then she goes on and kills Gary, who was Gail's, the girl who froze to death, his boyfriend. And now she can breathe the atmosphere. Yeah, it's amazing. This new motherhood thing's really done great things for Sandy. And so this is a fast-tracked pregnancy, apparently. So let's just checking. So after giving birth to two bouncing, no, they don't bounce, two aliens that look like they're connected for some strange reason. I guess it's maybe that interspecies DNA and all sorts of messed up. Who knows? That's out of my pay grade. But anyway, Mark comes across the children. Say something called CPS. And decides that he's going to take them. Yeah, and see if he can flush out Sandy, their mom, in hopes that he can destroy them and get on a ship back to home. So Mark takes the juniors and gives them to, I think, Sharon, and traps Sandy in by falling. He falls into this underground tunnel, and she joins him there, and he proceeds to strangle her. I guess she didn't get to cannibalize any of her coworkers between, after giving birth. So I guess she's a bit low blood sugar. That's the only way I could explain this. Oh, God. After killing Sandy, Mark is in a deep mourning. Of course, he's just killed his beloved. He goes back to check on the intergalactic species babies, and this is the final scene, in my opinion. I don't know why he went on to do more. I mean, this movie has it all. It has flail running, intergalactic species baby making, um, insemination by pea soup. Um, it's been a wild ride. Not gonna lie, a real wild ride. Enjoy the last scene. It's that good.